Then the Biden administration, in its last year, extends TPS to every single illegal alien from Haiti while they are flying them en masse into Springfield, Ohio, across the Midwest. It was a formal policy of replacing the communities that lived in, settled, and sustained these communities for generations. It was one of the most heinous things this government has ever done. And yes, under President Trump, let me be very clear. The illegal alien Haitians are going back to Haiti. They can build their country there.
Well, concerning TPS, there's actually kind of like an upside to it, right? I'm actually up for deportation right now as we speak. I ain't planning on going back. I know a lot of FBAs is making their videos saying, oh, y'all got to go back. Truth be told, one thing that I learned about, immigration is, you don't care what people have to say.
All cruises, all tourists, to make sure every industry, to make sure to boycott Bahamas, boycott Bahamas, to stop this discrimination against Haitian children.
Might have to drop a dime on them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
Alright, y'all, we back with another video, man. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, and a better understanding of self. So listen, it's been a lot of countries talking about, not even talking about, they've been deporting Haitians, okay? It's been the Bahamas, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, and America's been doing it. And we learning with this TPS situation, we're learning more and more about how people are coming in from other countries and coming to America, and you can have a baby here and the baby's a U.S. citizen. It's just so many schemes that we learning about.
Some of the Haitian nationals that have TPS, they have children that were born in Chile, they have children that were born in Brazil, they have children that were born in different countries, and they have children that were born in the United States. So when we're talking about separation, the separation is far more complicated than people are even speaking of, right? So what do? You're going to send a Brazilian, Chilean, American national to Haiti when that's not their country of origin. There's no passport for them to go to Haiti. So this is very, very complicated.
We're looking at here.
This was Del Rio, Texas in September of 2021 when we had about 15 to 20,000 Haitians cross the border illegally and just set up camp under the international bridge there. I was there. It's probably in the 4 years of border coverage, the craziest thing I ever saw.
Getting our resources is getting taken advantage of. And it's not really about, we for like immigrants, period, okay? Just like any other country, every country don't want an influx of immigrants coming into their country. Especially the residents, the Americans, us. We like, it's so much people coming here, they're gonna have to get food and do things somewhere, so they're gonna, rise up the prices and a lot of things. And I think when you an immigrant and you come to this country and you don't care, you just want to steal resources, we don't want you here because it's just not, it's not right for us. Okay, I seen a clip of an old man. He was on a crate. He was saying that, yeah, man, like, we got to get the resources for us. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to let y'all hear what some of the Haitians are saying about the TPS. I don't know why they want to blame Black Americans. In every country is like this. It's happening in Jamaica. It's happening in a lot of different countries. I don't know why it's such a big issue that, we feel like this. And we see what's going on with South Africa. But I'm going to give y'all some more commentary. Let's get it.
One thing them Jamaicans gonna do, they gonna deport them some Haitians. Yeah, this happens all the time. Haitians pull up to Portland. The Jamaicans catch them. Then they deport them back to Haiti. They stay consistently sending them from Portland back to Haiti. This probably happened more than a dozen times a year. And the Jamaicans went a step further. They said, if you see these Haitians wash upon our shores of Jamaica, they told the locals not to feed them because they could be armed and dangerous. But you don't see Haitians be like, oh, we're all brothers, man. We're all in the same boat. The government is against us. The government is against both of us. Right? And you know, last time I checked, isn't Jamaica a melanated country? Or is it the Chinese that runs it now? You know, they're all Caribbeans. I know some Haitians identify as Latinos, but they're all Caribbeans for the most part. But they never call out these Jamaicans. And they never call out Ghana. Ghana said to black Americans, when you're Ghana, come home. Return back to Ghana. Where's a return back to Ghana for the Haitians, the African Haitians?
State Representative Daphne Campbell, who accuses the Bahamas of being inhumane in its new immigration policy. The policy requires foreigners to have a passport of their nationality as well as a residential stamp. Campbell is advising companies, cruise ships, and individuals not to do business with the Bahamas.
This country, the Bahamas, has done too much for the Haitians. And that's the reason why they're here up until today. We did so much for the Haitians, where we could have bought lawnmowers and cut our own grass because we tried to empower them. We give them the businesses. Okay, and to hear that lady get up on the radio and try to stop business from coming into this Bahamas, it's disgraceful. Get the hell out of the Bahamas. That's what I say.
All right, so y'all hear the Bahamas man going off. Now listen to this lady. She sounds like a definition of a tether. Listen to how she speaks on how she wants to come to America and she wants people to see her as American. Check this out.
At 26, I started being treated like an African American, right? And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what the fuck is this treatment? Until I realized that like people were perceiving me as African American. And all my life when I came to America, we were already told like identify yourself as Haitian. Cause the truth of the matter is like immigrants are treated different than African Americans. But I don't know what shift happened that I was being treated as African American, and like it was so heinous. It was so heinous that at first I'm like, oh no, I'm Haitian. And I'm like, what is wrong with me that I immediately identify as Haitian instead of like taking in the experience of as African American. And I think it's because it was so cruel. It was like the treatment was so cruel. And that's when I realized like black African American women are not just angry and all of these things that people have been saying. It's the fact that like you step out of your house and you're immediately being treated badly.
Well, concerning TPS, there's actually kind of like an upside to it, right? I'm actually up for deportation right now as we speak. I ain't planning on going back. I know a lot of FBAs is making their videos saying, oh, y'all got to go back. Truth be told, one thing that I learned about, immigration is, you don't care what people have to say. You don't care about people's opinions. You do what's best for you. And what's best for me is stay in this country and make this money. I don't care how many FBAs come on here making their videos. I'm not going nowhere. But anywho, back to what I was saying. The truth be told, if 350,000 people are on TPS, let's just say 275,000 get deported. The other 75,000 are able to find a path to citizenship. That's actually a plus for Haiti. Because you have a whole bunch of people that's going to influx into the country with skills, money, resources. Maybe they're bringing certain items and machines from the States back to Haiti.
Oh, Americans are so dumb. You didn't know that you weren't supposed to do this when you go to this country? You didn't know that just visiting a country, you're going to be labeled as uncultured or uneducated if you don't know some little nuanced thing for just visiting a country for 2 days. Then you have masses of people that voluntarily leave everything they know behind to go live in a country, and they think that it is a reasonable excuse to say, I didn't bother to learn anything about this country that I'm packing up my whole entire life to go live in. And they think they could just shrug their shoulders and say, oh, well, I didn't bother to learn anything, and think they shouldn't be labeled as uncultured, uneducated, or this, that, and the third. You see how there's a different logic applied to certain groups? You're a liability, period. End of discussion.
And you come to America and you have a anchor baby, you have a child. That kid is Haitian American. If you are from Belize and you come to America and your ass have a child, an anchor baby, that child is Belizean American. You're not black American just because your ass had a baby here. I don't know what's going on in the mind of some people, but it doesn't make sense, family. You understand? People think that they can come here and assume our whole lineage. The whole destiny swap thing is real. You got people, and I don't want to single nobody out, but I got to keep it funky. I'm going to see one thing about Cotton Club Radio. I'm not going to not tell the truth to make people comfortable, because God damn it, the reason why we dealing with this situation is because people are too damn comfortable. You got people on Juneteenth flying Pan-African flags and all of these other flags I'm seeing. You got Caribbean people wanting to do their variation of Juneteenth. You got Africans wanting to hijack Juneteenth. But the thing about it is, family, why is it that Black Americans don't do that shit? We don't hijack other people's liberation days. We not going to Jamaica waving an American flag saying, yeah, you Jamaicans have your day, but it's for everybody. We're not doing that shit. We're not going to Africa and all of those tribes having their liberation day, waving our American flag saying, you know what? Yeah, you got your day, but this belongs to everybody. We don't do that, man. We allow everybody a space to indulge in their culture and have their liberation day to themselves, because it's their group of people who liberated themselves, not us. So why is it, family? Why is it when the Black American is representing his and hers liberation day in Juneteenth, we see in all these other goddamn flags?
Some of the Haitian nationals that have TPS, they have children that were born in Chile, they have children that were born in Brazil, they have children that were born in different countries, and they have children that were born in the United States. So when we're talking about separation, the separation is far more complicated than people are even speaking of, right? So what do? You're going to send a Brazilian, Chilean, American national to Haiti when that's not their country of origin. There's no passport for them to go to Haiti. So this is very, very complicated.
We're looking at here.
This was Del Rio, Texas in September of 2021 when we had about 15 to 20,000 Haitians cross the border illegally and just set up camp under the international bridge there. I was there. It's probably in the 4 years of border coverage, the craziest thing I ever saw. The thing about this is most of these people weren't coming from Haiti. Like I posted all these pictures all along the riverbank. There were discarded passports, IDs, paperwork. Most of them had been living in Chile, Peru, and like Brazil.
Haitian people after the earthquake.
Yes, they were not coming directly from Haiti, but they got rid of all these documents and like these work permits from Chile because they didn't want U.S. authorities to know they had resettled in another country before coming here because it would hurt their possible asylum.
They're having kids wherever they could benefit at the most. They were already settled in Chile, already settled in Brazil, but then they heard there's better opportunity. You get more free stuff, more benefits in the U.S. 2 years of rent-free. Furniture-filled apartments, houses, and townhomes. And when you run out of money, you could beg for more. Yeah, home base. Y'all remember a Haitian girl blew through $40,000, $5,000 a month, and was begging Boston for more money because of that home base program and paid 2 years of your rent. I bet you they wasn't offering that in Brazil. I bet you they wasn't offering that in Chile. And then they just come to these borders and destroy all their paperwork so they could claim asylum. And then they could also get enrolled in TPS at the time, because that was in 2021, 2022. You could apply for both. Yeah, at the same time. So yeah, put me on TPS status while I wait to see if my asylum is going to be approved or why it's pending. So yeah, I mean, these people, how Chris Brown say, they ain't loyal. You already settled in one country. You was already settled with a worker's permit, with a passport. They took you in. And then as soon as the next biggest thing came along, they bounce. These ain't loyal. These ain't loyal. And they popping it everywhere. They having, you know how Ludacris had that song Pippin' all over the world? They having babies all over the world. Babies all over the world, y'all. Like, how do you supposed to feel any kind of, sympathy or empathy? What is the word? I don't know, because I'm not in that position, but is it empathy? I got to look it up. But for people that's just opportunists, That's all it says. You already had a good thing in Chile. You already had a good thing in Brazil. But you came over here to the United States thinking that it was going to be better, but not paying attention to the word temporary. Temporary.
You know what I love is that in these last few days, there's some things that have happened with my community that I just absolutely love. Like, y'all ain't gonna worry us. And we can still have fun at it. I love my people. First and foremost, we are moving our money elsewhere. And we are patronizing our own businesses and building wealth just like every other community does. And we are unapologetic about it. You can't guilt us. You can't criticize us. It does not matter. So I've been driving past establishments where I would expect to see people in businesses that typically would disrespect and dishonor us. And they are empty and they are closing early. And not because of the holiday, but because we decided to vote with our feet. I decided to grow my own nails. And I know the recipes. I know how to make them in my own kitchen. And I'm on a waiting list for some sisters who have more business than they can handle right now. And I am more than happy to wait because I love this for them. And notice I didn't even have to say who I'm talking about, because if you know, you know. Number 2, I love that we got on Facebook and took over that group. If you know, you know. And the comments had me laughing for hours. And somebody was joking and saying in the comments, so this is your first time being colonized? Then they started another group and put out a statement that said, this is the group, don't let them know. And somebody at the bottom said, too late. Number 3. So these jokers descended on Washington, D.C. today doing their little march. They couldn't even keep the rhythm. But that's not what I want to talk about. This is what I want to talk about. This tells you everything you need to know about the strength of a black woman. And this, she, her, me, you, are the reason that we will be okay.
A community must have 3 things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.